Having a purpose is one of the most important things in terms of creating an environment of sustainable innovation. In order to be innovative, people have to want to put forth that extra effort. They have to be willing to dig deep and come up with those new ideas and to collaborate with others and share information back and forth. And that only comes about when people really have a great sense of what that organization is all about. And so I like to say meaning is the new money. That's what counts today, not the amount you're going to pay me, but the degree of meaning that exists within what we're trying to accomplish together.
Once you establish that sense of purpose with an individual, what starts to happen is they get much more effective at trying to solve problems. They're much more highly motivated, particularly if they have context and information around what purpose means to them and how they can actually deliver it through our technology and for our customers.
At Medtronic, our purpose was to restore people to full life and health. And there was a mission our founder wrote in 1960, not one word has changed. And it really informed the innovation. That's what employees resonate with. When I could talk to employees about our revenue growth, our earnings growth, our stock price growth, they didn't really resonate. Not the people doing the work. I used to say, I don't do any work here. It's the innovators in the labs. It's the manufacturing people that would die before they put out a low quality product. That's what they resonated with. Not the overall numbers of the company, but it had to be measurable. The way we measured it is we said, how many seconds go by before someone is restored to full life and health by a Medtronic product? And when I went there 25 years ago, it was 90 seconds. By the time I left, it was like 5 seconds. Today, it's 1 second. That's pretty exciting. Every second, somebody's life was restored by a Medtronic product.
When I think about a company's ability to innovate, actually, purpose and why they're doing what they're doing is absolutely fundamental. And the space that I work in, the so-called sharing economy or collaborative economy, it's quite interesting because you're starting to see companies emerge that have a very different kind of purpose ingrained in what they're doing. If you think about businesses based on sharing or access rather than ownership, we see that these allow people to save money. They allow us to use resources more sustainably. They allow people to build relationship again. All of these things are in the DNA of the company. So when that company starts to define purpose, it's very easy. We're going to connect people and help them meet their needs in new ways. We're going to help empower them to save money, to be a part of a community, that kind of thing. And so from that perspective, purpose is absolutely fundamental to what they do and looks very different than it has for incumbent companies. Just one quick footnote, when we talk about purpose, I think I'm pretty committed to the fact that historically we have defined purpose as something related strictly to money or financial return. And those days are over, and those companies that really put that bigger vision of purpose, in particular the power of the human potential, those will be the ones that will outpace and outstrip, including financially, any other company down the road.
Today, I think with the traditional buzzword open innovation, we try to collaborate with everybody that helps bring stuff towards the market. And since our focus is now on sustainability and purpose, it basically means that we try to find in our ecosystem people to collaborate with. It can still be on the technical side, universities, institutes and so on, but also people that have market channels or other knowledge that we can combine. And that is, by the way, true for almost all innovation we do, because I think if you don't connect with the outside world, you basically lose in terms of speed.
One of the things that we're seeing around purpose is that actually it can help to drive new relationships with stakeholders, and perhaps in some cases people that you wouldn't have thought would have been in alliance with you in a very new way. So give an example of what I mean by that, and this is one that we talked about here at the Innovation Summit, but Unilever, when they said that we're now going to focus on building solutions for a sustainable planet. Well, that's a big aspiration. What does that mean? But it meant that because that's the big game that they were playing, they were able to invite other people to play that game with them. So they create a digital open innovation platform and they crowdsource innovations to help create solutions for a sustainable planet. So then you've got engineers and scientists and people who have all kinds of really big, clever ideas who are not on the payroll of this large corporation giving their ideas.